Hello! If you've ever felt that you didn't fit in, either as a kid or even as an adult, then you're in the right place, because in this video I'm going to share with you that not fitting in is actually an advantage, because it prepares you to awaken to your true self and to experience the freedom and the joy of being unapologetically you and shining your light. The key to this transformation is to go beyond the limitations of the mind and its judgments about you, and to center yourself in your heart and in the truth that you are instead. And if you would like to have a mind which is balanced and free from limitations, don't forget to get my free video series on how to free yourself from worry and overthinking and harmonize your mind. The link is in the pinned comment below. My name is Paola, and I help awakening individuals to get out of their mind and to get into their heart so that they can align to their true self, their purpose and their joy. So if you would like to discover and embody your true authentic self, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell button so you can be notified when I release a new video. Hello, this is Paola. I'd like to talk to you today about the advantage of not fitting in, and how this can be an advantage for living your life purpose and walking your awakening path. Not only that, but it also might be a sign that you're meant to awaken your consciousness in this lifetime. Maybe you felt in this lifetime that you don't really fit in with society or with your community, that you might be a bit different. And maybe you've tried to kind of fit in and play those games that we play when we try to fulfill other people's expectations so that we get their approval. But deep down, you kind of know that these are just games and that you are quite different. Well, I'm going to tell you that this is a really good thing, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, the part of us that really wants to fit in is linked to a really ancient part of us that some people call the reptilian brain. But in any case, it's a program that comes from the fact that we are social animals and we have more chances of survival if we live within a group. So there is a real program which has got a real physiological aspect in your brain and your nervous system that programs you to want to fit in, be accepted, be part of a group, and gets alarmed and activated when things happen that might result in you being rejected or judged. So this is a real aspect of us that we need to be aware. But on the other hand, you might have felt that maybe you were trying to fit in, especially when growing up, but there was another aspect of you that was aware that you could not actually fit in, that you were different. You might have played some of those games, but you might have realized that deep down, you know you're different. So if this is the case, this is a real good thing, a real advantage for your awakening path. And it's a blessing, and I'll tell you why. Well, the thing is that the part of you that really wants to fit in is the part that identifies with your separate self, with your small self, with the self that is separate from others and still wants to be accepted by others and be part of a community. And yet, if that becomes your priority, because all you want to do is belong to this community in order to feel safe, then you realize that you're not living from the center, listening to the desires of your heart, allowing them to be heard and expressed, but you're living in order to fit in, so in order to be accepted. In other words, you're not honoring the truth that you are. You're not being really the true self. That's actually why it's a blessing if you've ever felt that you can't truly fit in. And maybe you were not very good at playing all those games that other people might have been really good at, that got them to really belong, to really fit in, really be accepted. Why? Because if you were really good at those games, then you would have been sucked into that way of living where you're not living your true self, but you're becoming someone for anyone else. So you're living through identities and roles that get you accepted rather than awakening to your true self and living your true life purpose. So that's why it's a real advantage and a real blessing if you've ever felt that you can't really fit in and you are somehow different, because you are facilitated into choosing another thing. Maybe you felt different, but also you felt that you were, whether you were trying to play those games but it didn't work, or maybe it worked but it left you dissatisfied. That's a good thing, because now you are facilitated into choosing how you want to identify. Do you want to identify with the separate self that wants just to fit in and feel safe, but because you know that that actually doesn't really work, or if it works it makes you feel awful, or it makes you long for more? Now you know that there is another choice. You can identify with your true self, and your true self lives in oneness, of course. Oneness with the divine, oneness with the universe, therefore as a consequence oneness with each other as well, other humans, other trees, beings, animals, oneness with everything. So in a way, when you identify with the true self, you find a true belonging, because now you realize you are in oneness already. And this type of belonging is really different from the fake belonging, let's say, that you can experience when you try to fit in. Because when you try to fit in order to feel safe, you come from a place of fear of being rejected, and you come from an expectation, the expectation that other people might accept you. And you always work really hard in order to fulfill other people's expectations and your own. And you know that, how that can lead you astray and alienate you from your awakening path of honoring the true self. So how lovely that when you actually identify and choose, it's a choice, to identify with the true self, you suddenly find the true belonging and true oneness that comes from love. It comes from the recognition that in everyone else there is the same spark of the divine. There is the same essence of love that is within you. And it's in there that you find the real oneness that comes also with a lot of compassion and lack of judgment and lack of separation. So that's why it's a true advantage if you've ever felt a bit different, or that you don't fit in, that you don't belong, because you are not really good at playing the game of separation, but you're already prompt for playing the game of oneness. And that choice can be truly facilitated for you. Remember, it's a choice. How do you choose to identify with the separate self or the true self that lives in oneness? And I hope that we can, both you and I, identify with the true self that lives in oneness and find the joy that comes from the true belonging, not only to each other, but to the divine, to the universe, and to ourselves. So let me know what you think of this concept. Does it resonate with you? Have you got any questions? I'd love to hear. Just leave a comment below this video and give it a like or a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified whenever there is more material to assist you in your awakening path. Sending you lots of love and many blessings.